We're hearing two stories, aren't we, Simon, about Michael Jackson. We're hearing one that he's on the verge of bankruptcy, and the other one is we're hearing from Michael Jackson's friends that he's on the verge of suicide. Are they real friends, or are we being spun a line?
I've heard for many a month that he is in financial trouble. I understand allegedly that he's mortgaged his Beatles catalogue up to the hilt. Borrowed off it.
That's his major asset, isn't
Absolutely.
it?
So that's running out with that. And I think that's setting in. And I think that, I personally think, and I understand that he is suicidal. I think, you know, I could easily be here talking to you in a few weeks' time when he might have done something to himself. But what is quite clear to me is that the truth is setting in. You know, again, I understand that lawyers wanted to talk to him months before the case, to discuss how it's going to take place. And he just wouldn't take the calls. He was out, you know, on his carousel.
Yes.
Or shopping. And he wouldn't take the case. He wouldn't take it seriously. And I think seeing his accuser right in front of him has made him really think, I'm in this. And make him think, how did me, one of the great singer-musicians of our time, find myself in the dock being accused of this extraordinarily awful crime?
Well, the trial continues tomorrow, and Michael Jackson denies all the charges against him. Well, with me now is the barrister Gary Grant and the media advisor Simon Astaire. Thank you both very much indeed for coming in. Gary, can I begin with you? In terms of the credibility of the evidence that's been presented so far, who strikes you as credible and who less? So Starr, for example, struck me as less than credible because he's admitted lying.
Michael Jackson did wear pyjamas, and I'm worried about Michael Jackson's health. And I think that's really what I want to talk about. I think he's heading for the abyss. And I think we're watching a celebrity tragedy in front of our eyes. And every day in the pictures of last week come across as a man in serious mental health, I think.
Although he does a form on this one, quite often when he's faced with accusations of wrongdoing, he seems to develop an ailment which requires him to hobble or to limp or to look unwell for the cameras.
It's probably psychosomatic. I mean, when you're under this sort of pressure, you can react in that way, but that doesn't take away that he is in serious trouble. And if I was advising him or advising the press outside the court, I would say, let's try and get a balanced view on this now. He is a man that's seriously unwell. He hasn't been found guilty as yet, and I try and give him a bit of leeway.
He doesn't seem to have advisors who talk to him in a kind of normal way. I mean, if I was his advisor, I would say to him, don't turn up at court wearing a pair of pyjamas and a dinner jacket, because it looks peculiar, and nobody will particularly believe that you can't put on a pair of trousers when you leave the hospital.
First, I agree with that. And secondly, if I was his advisor and he paid out, he's in financial trouble anyway, and he paid out 10 years ago, 12 years ago, up to allegedly $20 million to a young man that made the same sort of accusations. If I was his advisor, I'd say, look, Michael, I know you enjoy the company of children, and that's well and good, but you're not going to invite them into your bedroom, and nor are you going to be alone with them. That's good advice. I
would also say, given the nature of the allegations against you, pyjamas are probably not a particularly tasteful thing to wear.
Well, you know, you sound cynical, but yeah, and it's easy to be so, but he's not well. I mean, it's clear that he is not well, and I personally believe he's heading for a very, very, very nasty end.
Simon, Gary, thank you both very much indeed. Of course, the case reopens tomorrow.
Thank you.